This is my passion. This is Ike's Outdoors. Hey guys, Ike here from IkesOutdoors.com. Welcome to the dark, scary dungeon-like part of my shop. This is where actually all the work takes place. All the video takes place over there. But this is where I do all the work. And what I'm going to do today, I'm going to step off camera here and I'm going to show you how I built myself a arrow saw. I've got about 40 bucks invested in this thing, and I had about over 100 bucks in my last saw, and I used the thing for years, no complaints. It was an Easton saw, and I used the heck out of that thing. And I've had it for 5 or 6 years, and I bought it used. My cousin had it for 10 years before that, and we built a ton of arrows with it. But right now, I don't have 200 bucks to go out and buy a new one. So it's a great saw. Easton makes a fantastic saw. But if you're like me, you're on a budget, got a family, you want to save a little bit of money, this is how I made mine. Alright, so here's what I've got. Here's my setup. I've got a Drill Master 2-inch benchtop cutoff saw, which you can see the box right there. Picked that thing up from Harbor Freight, 35 bucks. And then I've got a piece of aluminum down here, and this is what's going to be challenging for most of you guys. This block right here, which, you know, my setup, I'm just showing you what I've got basically, but your setup's probably not going to match mine. I was able to take this off of my old Easton saw, and it's basically just a piece of square stock that is got a cut in it and a turn key on here, so I can tighten that thing down. So, and what this allows me to do is on this piece of aluminum down here, I can make my adjustments to it, tighten it down, and cut my arrow to the length that I need to cut it. So, basically that's just for making sure I've got the correct length. The arrow here, or the saw here, actually has a little metal blade on it, which I was pretty leery about that blade, but I couldn't find the kind of blade I wanted to cut these kind of things. So I thought, well, I've got a bunch of old junk arrows like this deer crossing arrow, and I just brought it home and with that blade on there, and thought, well, I'll go ahead and try it, and if it works, great. If it doesn't, I'll find another blade for it. But it's a little 2-inch steel metal blade on there. This thing's got a clamp on here, and it's got it where you can set your angles, but of course I got it at 0 degrees. Little button up here on top, you got to push and then turn the switch. And it cuts like a dream. I mean, it is not square, but it is very easy to use a squaring tool and get that thing pretty square. So it cuts it pretty well. I'm just using this thing. These come with all your full metal jackets, so pretty good little tool. You can put it in there just like that and square this thing up. So just like that, and I've got a pretty square end, pretty square cut on the thing. So it works pretty well. I got a full metal jacket here. This end, I hit it with another arrow and the end got busted. So we're going to cut it, and I'll show you exactly what I want to do with this one. I'm going to use this here to adjust my length. And I don't have a tape measure on there right now. I'm going to get a soft tape, and I'm going to put that on there. Let's say this was a brand new arrow and I wanted to cut it like that. I'm simply going to set my block up, push it against my block, tighten it up here, and I've got it set and it's ready to cut. Now, your set, like I said, your setup's going to be different than mine, but I had to take a couple little pieces of 1x and put underneath there to get it even with my block. So, just like that. And I might modify it after watching that one. I may put some kind of cradle underneath it, so the arrow will actually sit in a cradle rather than go down and fall off, because that's going to be it's going to be cutting it at an angle if it's falling while I'm cutting it. But it's easy enough to square up. I can slide a knock in there, and actually this is the end. That end's already square. So easy enough to square up when I'm done cutting it. And overall, for 40 bucks, nice little saw. Definitely, I think needs a cradle in there, and I definitely am going to add a bit of soft tape and glue on that end, and I think that that will be a nice little saw for what I'm doing when it's all said and done. Now we're back on the clean side of the shop now, well, somewhat clean, but that's basically the setup. I mean, the Drillmaster saw cuts fantastic. Yeah, it's not as square, but I'm going to put some kind of cradle in there, which won't be bad. I can take a little 1x or something like that, an 1.5 inch piece of material, and just basically make a cradle in the middle of it where that arrow will sit in that cradle and support that arrow, keep it from falling. And like I said, I got about 40 bucks in it, and I'd love to hear your guys' adjustments to what I've done, because mine's pretty basic. I mean, I threw this thing together yesterday in 10 minutes. I mean, it didn't take me no time to get it done, and it's going to work with some minor adjustments that I'm going to make to it. I think the cradle is going to make a big difference in it. I think it's going to work out just fine. So that's a Drillmaster 2-inch benchtop cutoff saw. Bought that at Harbor Freight for 35 bucks, and just a piece of aluminum angle and a piece of aluminum stock that's been machined. That's going to be your hardest part is finding that way to adjust your length. But that saw clamps down, so it'll be pretty easy to measure. You can clamp it in there, measure from the blade to your knock, and you may not even have to have that stop on the back, so it may be pretty easy. But I'd love to see your variations, so if you guys make one of these on your own, send it to me. Let me know what you guys did different from what I did, because I'm always open to suggestions, and if I can modify this saw and make it a little bit better, I definitely will do that. So you can find us on Facebook under Ike's Outdoors. You can go to the website, hit the contact us page on there. You can email me directly at ikesoutdoors@yahoo.com. And for more product reviews, how-to videos, you can visit us at Ike's Outdoors. I completely forgot my own website now. My email address is ikesoutdoors@yahoo.com. Make sure I got that right. And our website is ikesoutdoors.com. So there we go. Really appreciate you guys watching these videos. Can't wait to looking forward to hearing what you guys have on your setups.